We're good to go.
All right. Is that product placement?
Twins. Twins. Dad, we're twins.
Use my phone number and we'll get points. I got a free sandwich.
Oh.
All right, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Welcome, Internet, to episode 21 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. As always, I am Big Pops, a.k.a. Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
I am Sis, aka Hannah Jo, and together we are a father and adult daughter duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly. Woo woo! It's been a minute, Dad.
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody, thank you so much. We are now in day 380 of our 15 days to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So isn't that what we were supposed to do? 15 days. Let's buckle down for 15 days and we'll stop the spread. We're now in day 380.
I had a Snapchat memory pop up today, and it was me crying about the fact that we were going to be in quarantine for my birthday, and we're now approaching second.
It's okay.
COVID.
Gotcha. Second birthday? Is that like second breakfast?
Second COVID birthday.
But yes, Hannah said it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. So as you may or may not know, I am a student still. And so because I am a student, sometimes I have assignments that mean that I cannot talk with Dad, even though I still talk with my dad. We just don't record our conversation.
And before that happened, we had a sewer mishap. Oh,
yeah. Because we were supposed to do one before that, and then yeah.
It's okay. So now we're back. And
we're back. Yay!
What's on the list, Hannah?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we're doing today. So it's been a minute. And so Dad has so many comic books. We're going to talk about his pull list from pretty much the last month. I guess it's been that long.
Yeah, I'll probably just hit on the ones that just came out in the last couple weeks.
Okay. We have a lot of nerd news to cover, again, because it's been a minute. I have not watched things again because I was working on school stuff. So Dad is going to give us a spoiler-free rundown of Falcon Winter Soldier and Snyder Cut, and then I'm going to watch them this next week, and it's going to be spoiler heavy on those types of things of what I thought about that kind of shenanigans. We are going over again what we've been binging as per the usual, and there's this sweet little movie that we watched called Flora and Ulysses that we're going to talk about. It was on Disney Plus.
I was extremely surprised at how well I liked it.
Sweet little movie.
All right, well, let's get into it. Nerd news. All right. How many Post-it notes do you got, Hannah?
I just have one Post-it note today.
Oh, well, then I'll go first.
Okay.
So guess who is supposedly a villain in Mission Impossible 7?
Who? I straight have no idea. Do you want me to guess?
I'll give you 3 hints.
Okay.
I only have to give you one.
Okay.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Really?
Yeah, Wesley, Carey, I can never pronounce his last name.
Mulligan? It's not Mulligan.
No, Yules, E-L-W.
Is it Carol?
Is it Carey, Kari? I don't know. Anyway,
Men in
the
Tights.
Princess Bride guy.
Men in Tights and Princess Bride. He also is the villain on Ella Enchanted. He's the king.
Yes. And he also, in Robin Hood and Robin Hood Men with Tights.
I just said Men in Tights.
Oh, well, see, we got glitchy. I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He has played in a movie. He has performed in a movie with Tom Cruise before. They were in like a NASCAR movie. I can't remember the name of it. And his character was the rival for Tom Cruise's character in that movie.
Cool.
So I think that's going to be cool. Yeah. All right.
That's
what do you
fun.
got on your check on the list?
Fast 9 has been moved back.
Oh, everything's getting moved back.
Fast 9 has been moved from May 28th to June 29th. Y'all, I am here for every single Fast and the Furious movie that they will make ever. I will watch them. I love them. I think they're so
unapologetic. Cool. Yeah, they are.
I don't care at all that they're trash because I love them.
I even like the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
The Hobbs and Shaw movie was so good. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson's like, I can hold this entire I can hold this helicopter with my arm. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I
Yeah.
believe it, guy. Do it.
And we
You
got
hold
rid of
that
all the
helicopter.
weapons. We're going to beat them with sticks and rocks.
That
Yes,
was
I remember.
awesome. That was
It was awesome.
epic. Oh, what a good movie. So, the good
Yeah.
thing about the Fast and the Furious films is that the cars that they use for the films are so expensive that they use them for two movies. And so there will always be an even number of the Fast and Furious movies because
Oh,
that's
so
how
we're getting a
expensive.
10.
So we're definitely probably going to get a 10.
Or they auction off the car to make money for uh, something Vin Diesel. He's in debt or something. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think
He's not in debt.
well,
No.
I was
If
like
he, yeah,
worried
maybe
for
he is.
him.
I don't know. I'm not his financial advisor. So,
Minions Rise of Gru has been pushed back a year.
oh gosh. I put on a outfit just recently. Your mom and I had to go somewhere, and I was like, I thought the pants were too skinny, and I said, just please tell me I don't look like Gru. And she laughed. I didn't. I have hair. Speaking of that, Venom, the Let There Be Carnage moved to September. Everything's moving back, pushing it back because nobody wants to just throw it out there. I
Well,
don't know if
here's
you
the
saw
thing. I'm ready to go see movies, Dad.
Okay, well, here's the deal. In our little town, the movie theater is open.
Yeah, I mean, let's go. Here's the
So,
thing. I live in a town where they only have Regal Cinema. And so
and they're
Regal
closed.
Cinema is still not open.
Yeah. Yeah. In our little town, it's locally, it's a small owned. So they've been open for a long time, playing like older movies and
Hmm.
newer movies at
Yeah,
the
they do
same
that
time.
thing. I really loved that growing up. On Wednesday mornings, they would, in the summer, they would
Yeah.
play,
Like
um,
a popular kids movie that had been popular a year or two ago, and it
like
would be
sometimes years
free.
ago. Like
The
they
movie
played
was
Jumanji
free,
once.
but when you bought $17 worth of popcorn, they made their money.
Miss Sheila says that she is sad about the Minions because she needs them and that she also wants
They
all
would
of the
make me
movies to come
smile.
back.
I know. I'm ready.
Minions are
I'm
so
ready for it.
cute. That Minion
Plus,
movie bopped.
I, listen, I like all of those
I do
crazy movies.
too.
Steve
The Gru
Carell's
movies.
hilarious.
But he's
They're
just
great.
such a good. He just loves his kids so
He is a
much, and
good
he's just
dad
a good
for
dad. And
being
it's just
a villain.
like a tear
I
down my
know. I
cheek about
gotcha.
how much he loves his babies.
So speaking of that,
Mm.
Disney basically came out and said, Black Widow, of course, it's supposed to come out May 7th.
Yeah, that they
And
just
they
might
basically,
not open it.
that's what they said. It's coming out May 7th. Then again,
It might
maybe
not.
not.
Yeah, they were like, it'll
We'll
be a last
see.
minute decision. Day of, man. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
day of.
actually not.
It'd be like, I got my ticket for later. Nah, nah.
Yeah, no, that was a part of one of my pieces of news too. That they were
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh,
Well,
maybe.
they've had this forever, and the Marvel Comics has been putting out a fairly decent, what I've been told, Black Widow comic book that, you know, but now a lot of these comic books do this. They'll introduce or push characters that have been around for a long time, but they'll reintroduce them and make new comic books for them to hope to have a spike in sales to go along with the movie. Also, sometimes it'll bring people who watch the movie into comic books to buy comics.
Which is fun.
So,
I'm here for
absolutely.
that.
And actually, DC is doing that with the Peacemaker, which is supposed to be John Cena's character in um, Suicide Squad.
John Cena.
Yeah, he's now like in charge of Suicide Squad. They've really been
Really?
putting him out in a lot of he's not in charge. Amanda
Like he's
Waller's in charge.
like he's
He's like
big.
he's the headliner of the
Cool.
Suicide Squad.
Cool, I'm
But
down.
nobody knew who Peacemaker was until James Gunn decided to make
I
this
don't know who
movie.
that is.
Exactly. Well, HBO is making their own Peacemaker TV show too.
Cool.
He's
Is
like
it John Cena or is it someone else?
yes, and he's
Oh,
supposed to be a
yes.
rotten.
Yes.
His term I can't use on this because we're family friendly, but it's a bad
Dirty
Captain
rotten
America.
scoundrel.
Yeah, yeah, which was really funny. Yeah, so there you go. What else? You got more nerd news? Because
Yeah.
I've got a couple things.
So we talked about how they're making a live action Powerpuff
Oh
Girls.
yeah, I know exactly where this is going because it was on my
And
list too.
they have announced who the people are going to be. And I know two of them. I don't know one of them.
So you know Dove Coleman and Chloe
Cameron.
Bennett.
Dove
Cameron.
Cameron.
Gotcha.
Yes. I don't
Explain to me
know.
who she is. She's apparently off of a Disney
Dove
Channel.
Cameron she's a singer, and
Gotcha.
she also does the Descendants
Yeah, I don't
movies.
know what that is.
So I
That sounds
watched
like a
them.
creepy
It's
horror
not.
flick or
It's
something.
not. It's not at all.
Okay.
So what it is it's like all of the Disney like princesses and heroes and villains all have like children. And so like the bad guys, like the villains live on this like island, and all of the like heroes live like really close to them. And these four children descendants of evil characters are then selected to go to the island, to leave the island and go to good person school.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so she is Maleficent's daughter in the Descendants
Okay.
movie.
So apparently
And there's three
the
of them.
other,
They're good.
yeah. So we all know who Chloe Bennett is because we love Agents of
Yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
we love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And you either
Woo!
love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or hate it, but I love it.
Fact.
And
Hashtag fact.
she's one of the main stars, her and um, Coulson, which
Mm-hmm.
is Clark Gregg. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
Agreed.
this other girl, who I can't pronounce her name, Yana Perot, Yana Perot. Anyway, she's uh like a musical theater type
Theater
person,
person.
and she was in Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah, before the shutdown. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah. So
I want. Are they gonna sing? I hope.
that's what I'm wondering.
What if they sing?
I'm wondering there's going to be music.
They gotta sing,
Let there be
Dad.
music.
I
What would they
need
sing?
them to sing. I
Go
need.
good. Hum the theme song, Powerpuff Girls. I don't know it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know it. We'll have to. I almost did
Sugar,
this. The Wonder
spice,
Woman.
everything
This,
nice.
I
Chemical
almost did the Wonder
X.
Woman music.
Bum
Yeah.
bum 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 bum.
Did
That's it.
you
That's it. Sorry, I
see
found it.
that apparently Netflix is going to start cracking down on password
I
sharing?
heard about that. Password sharing.
But if you now listen, here's the deal. I am completely anti-password sharing.
I know
You
you
know
are.
that
I know you are. I
because
don't share
I'm
your
a
password.
terrible rule follower that I am. But I don't know how they're going to enforce. I think they're talking like they're going to if somebody tries to log in, you know how like sometimes we're trying to download something on Apple or whatever, and it'll say please verify this machine,
And
and
then we have a
then
family
we have
group
to,
text, and
and then we're
some
like,
people
who
cancel
gets?
it,
and
and some
we're
people
like,
say yes, and then we get kicked out, and then we have to try it again.
and like, what's the code? Hold on, nope. And then the code pops up for like 0.2 seconds, and you're like 2 3 hit the button again, and you screenshot. But anyway, I think they probably will do something like that. You know what I mean? Where like this past 2 o'clock in the morning when you asked us what the to accept something so you could
It was
download Amazon
not two
Music.
o'clock in the morning.
Well, whatever time it was.
It
Yeah,
was like 10:30 my time,
so
which is
11:30,
11:30 your time. It was
and I'm an
not
old
that
fart,
late.
so that's what happens when you're an old fart. You're
You
in bed.
are a
I didn't
riot.
see it till the morning.
It's fine. It's not I figured it out. It's not a big deal. I just decided
All
not to
right.
do it.
So I have one more piece of news. Do you have
I
any
have two
more?
more pieces of news.
Well, then do one of yours.
Disneyland is opening April 30th.
Yes, but here's the news I found out yesterday from someone
Uh-oh.
who knows a lot about Disney World and travel.
Shoot.
Shout out to
Wink.
Sally Wilson.
We love
She
her.
said that they are only opening it up for
Members?
people who live in California.
Oh, cool.
So they're going to try that out first. So unless you are a resident of California, and I believe like a Disney club member or or season ticket holder or whatever, there's no getting in there. So yeah, that's
Oh,
the
well,
one out in California.
I'm not trying to go to Disneyland next month. And I'm glad
Glad
for
of
them
what?
to be open again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess they're going to try. I think if Disneyland were in Texas or Florida, it'd already be open at maximum. Wait, there is Disney in Florida.
Disney World is open.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway,
Di-
if it was in
Disney
Texas, it would be open full stream right now.
Mhm.
Anyway, but it's not. It's in
Another my piece of
California.
news is that Onward and Soul both got nominated for an Oscar.
Okay, so I loved Onward. I thought Soul was okay. But
Hmm.
what Oscar did they get nominated for? Like best
Animated picture.
animated film?
Hmm.
Oh, what else was in there? Did you see anything else nominated?
Not, yeah, I saw them, but I didn't know what they were.
Yeah, I that's a bummer because it goes to show that uh our animated film reach is limited because I don't know a whole lot of animated films unless they come out via, the Disney Pixar type stuff. So, but
Well, we watched
I didn't realize
some.
Onward. Yes, it came out early last year, and Soul
It
came
came.
out late.
We watched it on my birthday.
Yes, we did.
We
Wow, I
watched it.
forgot
It
that.
came out March
Mm-hmm.
because I
Gosh,
went
it
and
was
watched it in the
warm.
theaters before everything shut down.
Shut down. Yeah. Well, my last piece of news is that there is a new Star Trek novel coming out called The Autobiography of Mr. Spock. So it's like a mock autobiography, like Mr. Spock is writing his own biography. So I'm interested to how that would be. I don't know what they apparently this they've been doing these before, like autobiographies of fictional characters, like a make believe.
That's funny.
So I guess we'll get to hear about his childhood, his time in the Vulcan Science Academy, and all that kind of stuff. But I go
I
ahead.
have the other ones pulled up.
You have the other ones. Go. Tell me what they are.
Wolf Walkers,
Ooh, I've never heard of it.
Onward, Soul, a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon,
Okay, I love Shaun the Sheep. It is a travesty that I haven't even heard of this movie. Shaun the Sheep is
Farmageddon,
fantastic.
Shaun the Sheep, Farmageddon, Dad,
Okay, that's a must watch. That's a watch and review. Keep going.
and Over the Moon.
I haven't seen that either.
I think that
But
one is about
uh, is that
aliens.
something about going over the moon? Is it
It's
about
a
a cow that
musical. It's
jumps?
a musical.
Is it a musical cow that jumped over the moon and like a
It's a
dish ran away with a
musical.
spoon?
Uh-uh.
Is that what it is? I think a dish ran away with a spoon in that one.
I want to watch the Raya movie too, but I haven't. I'll wait till it
I
comes
know.
off of Premiere Access.
Ditto. Ditto.
Oops.
Or maybe if it's still in the theater when you come home over Easter, we might be able to
We could go
go.
watch it. We could watch it on my
Absolutely.
birthday.
Possibly. All right.
Yay.
So that's it for my
That's it
nerd
for my
news.
news too. Ooh, sorry.
All right.
Loud.
Hannah,
Dad.
what? What are you
You said my
watching?
name. What am I watching? Okay. So
Uh-oh. Go.
the Return of the King extended edition
Yes.
is on HBO Max.
The extended edition.
The first time an
You know
extended
why?
edition Lord of the Rings film has ever been on a streaming service.
It's trying to beat the Snyder Cut for the longest film on HBO Max. How long? Well, I mean, the
So
Snyder Cut's 4 hours and 3 minutes.
I'm watching all the Lord of the Rings movies is what I'm trying to say to you.
Gotcha.
But
you can never
I
go
watched
wrong
the
with that.
extended cut Return of the King and then was like, oh, now I just need to watch them all. And so
I
I
know.
watched the
So you go
last
back.
one and then I
Wait,
watched the first one and
Are
I'm
the
on the
other
second
ones on
one.
there too?
Not the extended edition, but the other like movies are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Because my favorite parts of all of the movies aren't in the movies.
I know.
So
I wish
my favorite part,
you could watch it while having second breakfast again.
of any of them. I don't know why I'm gesticulating with this Carmex. The
I don't even know what that means.
does
But go ahead. Your favorite part of all
my
of the
favorite
movies.
part of any of the movies is when they're leaving Rivendell in
Not Riverdale. They're leaving Rivendell.
they're
Sorry.
leaving Rivendell.
Oh yes. Is that not in the
and
regular movie?
It's not in the regular movie.
Okay, explain the scene because
So
it
so
is
they're like
it's one of my favorites too.
It's the best. It like sets up the entire film
Well,
of like
because
they're
you
like
see Frodo's heart and his willingness to do something that he has no idea
Mhm.
what it entails, but he knows it's the right thing to do and that he has to do it.
So
And-
he gets called to take this ring. He says, "I'll do it, but I don't know the way." And that part's in the
Right, that's the council.
that's the council. And then they like are leaving out of Rivendell, and
go out the
Frodo
front
is
door.
bleeding. They go out the front door. The path goes splits into two, and
Gandalf is right
Frodo's
behind him.
walking, and Gandalf leans down and goes,
And no, Frodo says,
"Gandalf,
I
I don't
the
know
way."
where I don't know the way." And Gandalf like tells him like
Yeah,
go
like,
right
turn left or go right.
turn left or right or whatever it is that he says.
And then he goes.
And then that's where Frodo goes, and it's my favorite scene.
I know. It
and
is
it's
so
not
good.
in it.
I can't believe that. They cut that
They
out
cut
for the
that. It's
theater.
literally like 3 minutes. You could have left it
They
in.
could have left that in. Peter Jackson, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
Come
we.
on,
You know
man.
what? But just don't do the Hobbits again, please, sir.
No, no.
Please,
I
please
didn't
leave
rip
our
any
Hobbits
Hobbits.
alone.
Leave The Hobbit alone. Just get the book on CD and listen to it over and over again like I do.
Yes. What are you watching right now, Dad?
I am watching, first of all, I've gone back and watched multiple movies. Um, your mom and I have watched many movies, which is
What have you been
unbelievable.
watching?
We watched the movie Yes Day, which is on Netflix,
Yes.
and it's
You said that you really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would enjoy it. That's a pretty good family film to watch. Of course, I've gone back and watched again. I just finished Batman and Superman: Dawn of Justice again. I think I watched it the last time we talked. But what I'm really watching right now, I can't believe it. Stargirl. Stargirl.
Stargirl's so sweet.
Have you watched it?
The movie.
No. See, I
Oh.
knew you would say that.
The Jerry
Star
Spinelli book.
That's not it. This is Stargirl is a TV show on the CW, which is on HBO Max. Season 1 is on HBO Max, and it deals with it's DC Comics. Stargirl was a character created by Jeff Johns, which is like DC comic royalty, based off of a loved one that he lost. And basically, there we all know who the Justice League is, right?
I mean,
But
yeah.
there's also the Justice Society of America, which is like the Justice Society of America are like the originals before things were updated. So like the original Green Lantern, not the Green Lantern we know, but the Green Lantern from the 40s, has characters known as Our Man, Wildcat, Shazam was part of that.
Shazam!
The Atom, but not Little Atom. He was a anyway. So
ATOM?
ATOM. Mhm.
Cool.
There also was Starman. And what happens is in this TV show, the Justice Society is destroyed. Starman is
Okay.
killed. The only one that survives is Starman's sidekick, Stripesy.
Which becomes Stargirl.
No, not at all. Stripesy's a dude. So this Stripesy is played by Owen Wilson. So he was okay. So the Wilson brothers, you know, who they are. They're in all these movies.
Mm.
Okay, so Owen Wilson is Stripesy. Well, he marries a lady who already has a daughter, and he has a son. They marry and they move to this fictional town in Nebraska, and he has Starman's cosmic rod,
Oh
which is like
no.
almost like a sentient
Like Valifax?
staff that a little bit, I guess. It
Okay.
doesn't really speak, but but it basically chooses its heroes as well, pretty much like Valifax, but the cosmic rod's been around longer than Valifax. So the girl finds the staff, and she then believes that her dad, real dad, birth dad, was Starman. So she's now become Stargirl. And you find out that the villains are all in this town, and they have some deep reason for making America better, which is hilarious. It's like, so the bad guys are there, and she finds out that her stepdad was a sidekick. So now he's basically her sidekick, and he's got a giant robot suit.
That's so
So
cool.
it's stars and stripes. And now she's in the midst of trying to convince all these other kids to be on her team.
On her team. Miss Sheila says that Ed loves Stargirl.
Oh, it's fantastic. And I told you this last couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
That there's one character in it called Johnny Thunder. Remember? And you
Johnny
click the
Thunder.
ink pen.
Oh,
click
yes.
The pink ink pen, and it's the genie comes out and grants,
wishes.
Which he's like anyway. And it's going to be voiced by Jim Gaffigan. Remember, I told you that.
Yes. Sheila says that also that you might mean Luke Wilson, not
Luke.
Owen Wilson.
Yes, Owen's the other
Wilson
one.
is a comedian.
Yeah. No. They're both comedians. They're both actors.
Oh, I don't know who Luke Wilson is then.
Yes, you do. You
Who
look up
is
a
he?
picture, you would know exactly who he
Okay,
is.
I'm searching him on my phone.
I'll tell you what you'll know him from. He is the boyfriend of Elle in Legally Blonde.
Oh, yes.
See, I knew you knew that was.
Yep. I also looked at a picture of him. What
Yep.
else is he
Yeah.
in?
Yeah. So there you go.
He
That's what
hasn't
I'm
been in a
watching.
lot. Oh,
I get,
he's in Zombieland too.
oh, I haven't seen the first one.
You mean the second one?
I mean, the second one. I have seen the first one.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't
Dad,
know.
you've seen Zombieland.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Zombieland 2 was
I got
awful,
my
but
Wilsons got me
perfect.
mixed up. Yeah, my Wilsons got me thrown.
They're brothers.
They are brothers. It's
Sheila just said so.
sort of like the Baldwins. The
They
Baldwins
don't
confuse
look
me.
alike.
No, the guy who played Kung Fu and his brother was the dad on Lizzie McGuire. Well, I can't even remember what their
Ah,
last names are.
what a good TV
Yeah.
show. Okay.
So that's what I'm binging. That's
Okay.
it for me. So
Dad,
I'm like what?
you're on season 1?
Season 1, episode like 3 or 4.
Cool.
What
Well,
are you saying?
you
You
said
said
that was it for
dad.
you, and so I was going to change the subject.
Subject change. Go.
Okay. Would you like to talk to us now about your comic books or about your spoiler-free review of Snyder Cut
Well, let me do
Falcon
spoiler
Winter
free.
Soldier?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, here
So
for it. Bring it on.
I,
On like
I
Donkey Kong
it took me 2 days to
to watch
watch
Snyder.
Snyder.
Yes, because I
Um,
called you and you said that you really liked the character development and that it felt very long.
yeah. So it's interesting. It is split up into 6 parts, maybe 7 parts,
Parts like
and
there are
it'll
chapters.
say yes. It'll no. It
Oh,
says
that's
part
cool.
1, part 2, part 3.
That's
So
weird.
it's nice though, I guess, because you could stop when you get to a part. You could stop. The first part of the movie, and I'm not really giving anything away. We all know Batman goes to find Aquaman.
And
Okay.
we all like, I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Anything
So
that's in the original at
there's
this
some of
point
it
is
that's
not a
not
spoiler. No, I'm just
right.
saying. I'm saying
Okay.
if you're going to mention something
There
that
is
we
a
already know that happened because of the original, it's not a
okay. I'm
spoiler.
going to mention this. It's not. I mean, it is a spoiler. Yes,
It's
because
not
I'm
a
telling you
spoiler.
it happened, but it doesn't affect the context
Plot.
of the movie.
Okay, cool.
So basically, Aquaman is revered by the people of the village, right?
Which it was, we
So
already knew that.
right.
Sorry,
So he
I
goes
yawned.
back. They have their little conversation. He's like takes his shirt off, throws it down, jumps into the water, swims away. Right. We know that scene. Right. Yeah. So while this is happening, though, in this version, there are some villagers singing some song in Norse or I don't know the language. I'm sure it could be Norwegian, Swedish. I have no clue. Um, and it was a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, it sounds
And then the
weird.
girl picks up his sweater and smells it. I thought that's just weird.
Uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio today.
Yes. I was like, you could have not shown that. I didn't need that part. Now, if that's part of his vision, I get it. I don't think it was required. Um, and you remember you had thought that the vast majority of this movie would be the
Yeah,
the
the weird dreamy sequence.
with a K nightmare. See what
The
I did there?
Knightmare.
The Knightmare, the dark Knightmare. And
The dark Knightmare.
actually the dark Knightmare is at the end of the movie.
What?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So like everything's
And that's-
fine, and then he has a weird
and that's
dream.
where we get the Joker. Remember, because that's it. We see the
Mhm.
Joker in that movie, and that was weird too. Honestly,
Mm.
I think you could have left out
The Knightmare.
if you're going to keep the Joker good, but they made him way creepier than he needed to be. I mean,
think that they just like him being creepy, though, Dad.
no. You can listen. The Joker, I get it, but that's just it was weird. So the first and last part, I didn't like. Everything else in between, I was okay with. Now it's rated
Did they
R.
keep that cool part with Superman turning his head and seeing the Flash run behind him?
Oh yeah, that was still there.
Okay,
That
good.
was still there. So
I care about that.
what did I say? I was just getting ready to say something and I totally forgot.
You were saying it's rated R.
It is rated R because we get animated blood. But you can't really see it as. I mean, it looks like
Like
oil
when they're like
almost.
fighting
But
people.
again, what could be red, I may not be seeing red because I have an issue with that.
Because you're colorblind.
The bad guys, when they stab the bad guys, you see them bleed. They just, you know, um, uh,
Gotcha.
they the um, they do lay groundwork for, and this isn't a giveaway because it's in the trailer. Dark Side, you see Dark Side. He has a he's in it, but not enough for me.
Okay.
Um, uh, you also get a couple other characters from the New Gods, which is where these characters came from. And but honestly, if you weren't a comic, you will never know who
Yeah.
two
All I
either of the people are.
remember is that the bad guys all look very similar and they wanted cubes.
Yes, it's still the same.
They
The
like look
villain has
exactly
a
the
whole lot more
same.
spikies on it. Here's what I liked. You really, and maybe this is true because Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, had all this stuff to say about Josh Whedon, who had come in to take over Zack Snyder. So Zack
Mm.
Snyder left because his daughter died,
That's
and
so
that's why he
sad.
left the working on this movie. So
Yeah.
and after that, Josh Whedon came in. Ray Fisher said that he made a toxic work environment. Didn't want to, wanted DC to do something about it, and DC now has cut ties with Ray Fisher. But
Mm.
this version, literally, Cyborg is the heart of the movie.
Really?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Cyborg is the heart of the movie. And I think what happened when Whedon came in to take over for the Snyder Cut, he thought, we've got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. The whole world knows them. We've got to make them the focus of this movie, and it has
Yeah.
to be about them because there is stuff about the Flash in it that makes him a much more likable character. Because you remember I said I couldn't stand him in the first one.
Yeah.
I have a completely different view of him in this movie as I did in the
Mm.
previous, because I honestly, the most of the stuff that was cut out, that I think the most stuff that was added into this movie was character development for Cyborg and the Flash, with
Cool.
emphasis on Cyborg. And I believe that when you watch it, if you can make it through it, because it is long, it is 2.5 hours in
If you
before they
can
even
make
go to
it through
revive
it.
Superman. 2.5 hours in.
Yikes. That's a
Okay.
long time.
Yeah. Well, you still got an hour and 40 minutes to go before the end of the movie. But uh, the the cyborg stuff is really good. And
Okay.
they say the F word. I get
Lots of
it. It's rated
times.
R. You can say it. No, not lots, maybe 3, but it's not needed. You just don't say it. I know some people, if it's good for plot development, fine. It's not needed. It wasn't like, yeah, what
Like,
needs to be said
oh,
here. No, it didn't. So
gotcha.
that's my review. If you liked the first movie, if you like Zack Snyder's movies, you'll love this movie. If you don't, you'll hate it.
Okay.
Um, if you are a fan of the Justice League or superheroes, I think you will like the movie,
Okay. Just check it out and make your
especially
own choice.
especially the cyborg stuff. You get a
Cool.
whole lot more cyborg. Um, yeah. So there you go. It is definitely not DC Avengers, which is what I think Josh Whedon tried to do with the last
Mm-hmm.
Justice League movie, and it just
Didn't
no.
go well.
Is there a little bit of humor on occasion, but it's not like that forced stuff that they put in. You don't get Batman saying, "Yeah, something's definitely bleeding or broken or something." He doesn't say that. So Batman's basic job in this movie is to bring everyone together so that they can do that, because he knows that he is out of his league
I mean, yeah, he's a
with
human man.
Steppenwolf. And
He's
Steppenwolf wants
he's
to
a
do this.
rich human man.
Yeah, Steppenwolf's motivation is for Darkseid side. I don't know what you call him.
Dark
Anyway, I think it's
seed.
Dark Side. It's Dark Side. I
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
check it out if you want to check it out. If you don't want to check it out, that's okay.
that's hilarious. So Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It
Um,
looks fun. I haven't seen it. I've been a
it
busy little
is
nug, but it looks like a
it
good time.
it feels a lot like the Winter Soldier movie. Um,
I liked the Winter Soldier
I do.
movie.
I do too. I think what's happens here in the first episode is basically you're seeing Sam feel the weight of the
Ugh,
of people
of the
wanting him to be Captain America.
ugh.
And he really believes that in his heart that he is not worthy. And
Mm.
also, you see ramifications of this picks up right after the blink, right after everybody comes back. So, like, you know, you get to meet Sam's sister, who's been trying to hold down the family business for
Cool.
5 years by herself. Sam has been gone 5 years, but wants to help her keep things going. But, how do you get a loan when you don't have proof of income for the last 5 years? Why? Because I was gone. I mean, just things that you don't think about. You're introduced to a group of people who believe that the world was better
Oh.
without borders, and that's the group called the Flag Smashers, that you've seen the previews for them.
Mm.
Um, and Also, we're introduced to a character that is really prominent in the comic book. Uh, Again, comics that I collected and sold as a young father, which probably is worth a fortune now. But there became a point when Captain America would not be Captain America because he didn't like what was being done with it, and they bring in another character to take over his mantle,
Mm.
and we're getting ready to see that character. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, and he's
Who's they? They bring in Shield.
no U.S. government, yo.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, his name's Johnny Walker. He becomes the U.S. agent, but I believe he's gonna have a prominent part in this show. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, you also get to see Bucky. I didn't even talk about Bucky
Mm-mm.
dealing with him overcoming him being the Winter Soldier.
Mm.
Like all these people he's affected, all these people that he's killed, and the guilt that he has for it. And how do I
Poor
atone for
guy.
this? And he goes to therapy. And I don't know if you have to watch it and tell me, is that really good therapizing or not? Because I'd be like, I don't know, but it seems to work for Bucky. So, yeah, um,
Interesting.
it's, it, it's definitely not WandaVision, but
Well, don't I still
yes,
haven't
Hannah
finished that either.
hasn't finished WandaVision because and nor the last season of
Think
whatever.
I still haven't watched the last
Yeah.
season of Big Bang Theory either. I don't like it when things end. Dee.
Well, listen, that's my spoiler-free review.
Okay, well, I'm gonna check it
I
out.
enjoyed it. It makes me uncomfortable. I wish that the whole thing was out. I'm really tempted not to watch any of it and just watch it all in a
Oh, is
couple
it really
days.
like
I just,
um
Sam is probably one of the greatest moral center in second to Captain America.
I think he is
So
a real
good.
guy.
And I
Like, you know what I
think
mean? Like a lot of those
yes.
characters are like
Hmm.
not like he's
But
just like a dude.
he's going to have to become no longer a follower, but he's going to have to be a leader. And he
Hmm.
was such a great follower and a
He
great
doesn't want.
wingman, hilarious for Falcon. But the action is fantastic. You're going to love the
Not
action sequence.
surprised.
The emotion that they have for the family members that are in it and everything is really
Hmm.
good. And
Okay, I'm excited.
it's
I'm excited to watch it. Miss
yeah,
Sheila said that she loved the first episode.
yeah, I liked it too, but makes me I want anyway.
Do we want to
So
do our movie or your pull
yes,
list?
let's do our movie because I've been
So
talking a lot.
I mean, you've
I
watched
know.
things and have done things that I haven't done yet.
That's
And
okay, but
so
we got to watch the movie. Tell us the name
we
of the movie,
did.
Hannah.
So we watched this movie on Disney Plus. It's a Disney Plus original called Flora and Ulysses. And Flora and Ulysses is this movie about this little girl named Flora.
Now, this was a book.
Yeah, it was a book.
Yep.
I haven't read it because
I
it
haven't
came
either.
out when
I have no idea when it came out, when the book was released. No clue. But
so the
um,
cast just straight bops.
yeah.
Let me
So
just keep with the overview first. So this
yeah,
like 10-year-old girl whose parents have they're not
separated.
divorced, but her parents have separated.
They're
And her
both
they're both
creatives.
writers. So the
Yes.
mom is a like a
romance novelist.
romance novel, like one of those
Harlequin
like
romances.
yeah,
She has an award called a Jack and
Rose Award or
Rose
something like
Award, which
that.
is basically them from Titanic with their arms stretched out, which is so funny. There's a great scene in the movie
Hysterical,
that
where she's like,
deals with
I'm
that.
taking it captive.
Did you catch what
Takes it.
happens when she drops it?
They
The daughter
sink.
drops the thing on accident into a creek, and Rose lands on top of a piece of wood, and Jack sinks to the bottom. Did you not catch
I
that?
did not. That's
Which is
hysterical.
like on Titanic. Yeah. Anyway,
That
so go
was
ahead.
so yeah. So there, it's this little girl, and she is obsessed with comic books and loves
Because
to
her
read
dad,
because her dad was trying to become a comic book artist and a comic book writer.
creator,
Um,
his
yeah,
own, yeah,
like he came
creator
up with
owned.
his own stuff and things like that.
Hmm.
So it's this girl, and who has like her dad has given up faith in the thing that he loves,
And now he
and
works at like a Best
like
Buy or
yeah,
like a Staples.
yeah,
Hmm.
and
The mom can't find her mojo to write a paper,
I mean, yeah, it's
and
because she
and
writes romance novels and her
neighbors,
love life isn't good.
the neighbor's robot, like one of those sweeper robots, the Zumba,
Eats
the
eats
Roomba, whatever
a
it's.
Zumba,
It's a
daddy.
Roomba. Sorry, I don't know what they're called,
A Zumba.
but it takes off
Uh,
into the yard,
and eats a squirrel.
not eats
And
it. That makes it
it
sound like it chews it up,
it like sucks it
sucks
in.
it in.
It,
Yes,
it eats it.
it doesn't eat it. It sucks it in.
It
There's it.
sucks in the
Swallows it.
squirrel. Ooh, I hit my microphone. Sorry, microphone. I'm so
It's all right.
sorry. It
Swallows a squirrel.
swallows it and then spits it out, and the squirrel has superpowers. The squirrel is
But
named
the little girl has to
Ulysses.
bring it back to life. She has to do like
Hmm.
squirrel CPR mouth to mouth.
Hmm.
And now the
So
squirrel can talk, doesn't talk,
doesn't talk,
but
uses
it
the
does
typewriter that
communicate.
the mother has, and
Yes.
really likes cheese puffs.
Yes. And shenanigans ensue. There's a
Shenanigans and
great
shoot. Phenomenal
supporting
cast.
cast. So there is a boy next
Named
door
William.
who is psychosomatic, not
He has
psychosomatic. Yes.
hysterical blindness.
Yes, but he's not really blind. His anxiety has made him blind. And you come to find out this movie deals a lot about
It's
relationships.
a
A
lot about
lot.
relationships. It's a lot about loving yourself and recognizing that people aren't perfect.
And that we can
And
still love people.
we
Um,
can still love change. We can still love ourselves and our relationships, even if they like have to change and adapt.
yes. So William, the
Little boy.
sort of blind child, he always is wanting to, can I feel your face? And they're like, no. And he goes, I'll use echolocation. And then he'll go,
And then he'll run into
and it is
something.
so
It's so
funny.
bad. It's
He's
so
so
bad.
good in it, though. I love his character. There's like some major, like the one girl from, oh,
Allison Hannigan.
I'm thinking of that Kate, what's her face, who's in like
Oh,
Garfunkel, and
Kate. I can't
they're
say
in
her
like
last
a,
name.
yeah, they're in a naughty.
They're in a
They have a
donut
naughty.
shop, and then the squirrel flies.
Mhm.
And then this one guy is like, it has rabies. We have to kill the squirrel because the squirrel has rabies. And it's the guy from Community, Abed. His
Is
character
that who
in
that
Community is Abed.
Nice. He is
Toy
the
Abed in the morning.
he is the what do you call it, the like the dog catcher or the animal control
He's the
person.
animal control guy. And then
And
they like they kidnap Ulysses. And then Ben Schwartz is in it. He's straight hysterical. He's the dad. And Lily from How I Met Your Mother, Allison, the
she's the mom.
she's the mom, and it's just
Hmm.
so
Okay, so they also have an they have a neighbor who it's Dr.
Dr. Measham.
Yes, and she and her husband um both have the same last name or whatever, and they drive her car, and she seems very familiar, but I can't for the life of me remember what she's been in, but she looked so familiar. um Dave, she
She
was
was
in the
in
movie Dave.
the American President.
Yes, and Dave, she was in both of them. So that's fantastic. But
She was in Philadelphia.
so what happens in this movie is basically they're trying to catch the squirrel.
Animal control is trying to catch the squirrel, and they're trying to keep the squirrel safe. And this guy has
And the mom
tranquilizer
is
darts, and
and the
that's
mom is trying
hysterical.
to regain her ability to
Mojo.
write, and the dad hates his job but is so ultra creative, like he creates this big display out of pencils and all this stuff at his job, and his manager's like, you're fired. And then like the district manager comes in and says, who made this? This is fantastic. I want one of these for all my stores. And the other guy goes, oh, I just fired him. He goes, well, you're fired. And so
So like it ends, and the little girl learns that the mom learns to accept like magic and like
not like
strangeness.
magic, like not like poof, you're a
No, but like every day like learns to
like everyday
like
magic that happens in
everyday
our
magic
lives.
stuff of thing.
Yes, I
The
got you.
dad learns that he
What does the dad learn?
still is productive even if he
Yes,
is
he just has
not
to.
producing.
Well, I think that what they learn is that the spark for their imaginative or for their ability to create is each other,
Yeah.
is their
That
family,
they need, that they just need
that
that
they need to
family.
be together. The
Ugh.
family needs to come together. You find out that the little boy, um, the reason he is there is he was sent there from his mom because
He didn't like his
he
stepdad.
he doesn't because his stepdad would not call him William, he would call him Billy. And William was his dad's name, and he wanted to be
Hmm.
called his dad's name. So he got mad and drove his stepdad's car into a creek or
River,
whatever, river, and
pond,
that's why
a
he's there.
body
So
of
it
water.
a body of water. So it really has so much to do about how um, we care for one another
Hmm.
and respect one another and get along, and it's about reconciliation, and that's what I like
Hmm.
the most about it. I mean,
Reconciliation. Yeah. And it was
um,
just, I think it was a really sweet movie. It was
and
like,
kids would love it too. I
yeah.
mean,
And it
it's
was
the
like
squirrel is
shenanigans.
awesome. They release all these animals at this animal place, and the squirrel really is super powerful. There for a minute, you're like, is it really, or can it
We were
just
like,
type?
this is fake. And then the squirrel picks up a guy.
Yeah, it's not fake.
It's not
So the
fake.
squirrel, yeah, and
They
yeah,
eventually let
so
Ulysses go.
I give it 4.5 walnuts.
I'm here. Yeah, same.
Or
Would
is that
watch.
what
I would
squirrels
watch it
eat?
again.
That's what they eat in my backyard. We got squirrels galore, and they eat walnuts all the time. I
I
can't
would
get a
watch it again.
walnut off of our. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it makes me interesting for the book. I bet you the book would really be good. So, especially if you have a family that's struggling uh, with if mom and dad are struggling and they are trying to work on it. This is a great movie for the kids to watch and to watch with the kids. I think it
Or
really.
yeah,
Go ahead, Hannah. What were you going
I
to
was gonna say,
say?
or if you have a kiddo who, or like you want to introduce comics in
Yes.
like a more like
Hmm.
appropriate way, or like are worried
Yes.
about like an Avengers thing or something like that, like
Hmm.
worried because those are more like PG-13. This is PG, um,
Yeah.
so it's
And it's
definitely
cute.
yeah, it's a sweet little.
She
So
goes
you don't
into a comic book shop at the beginning, and it's
and
the
ruins
dude who runs it is a guy from Saturday Night Live. I can't remember what his name is,
his
but
character. I just googled his character name. His character name is Stanley, all one word.
Stanley. Nice. Well done, Ulysses,
Hysterical.
Flora.
That
Stanley,
is
one
hysterical.
word,
His name is
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah. And she's trying to get money for these comic books. She's trying to sell comic books to make money.
And she
And
ruins their
she
like
ruins
magic.
the Magic the Gathering or their
No, it's
Dungeons and
not. It's
Dragon,
Dungeons and
or it's
Dragons.
probably Warhammer or something like that they're playing. And she
Yikes.
knocks over everything, and she goes, yeah, I'll take $30. Yeah. There's some pretty
So
nice books
funny.
too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was going to say she got gypped, man. She had some
Hmm.
good books. She got gypped.
Yeah. She did. I thought so too. Just keep them, girl. Because what'll happen is when you're 52 and making a podcast talking about a TV show, going, if I still had that book, it'd be worth $1 billion. What I do. All right. So that's what I got for that. I would say,
Yeah.
yeah, watch it. Good movie. All
Same. I
right,
would agree.
Hannah.
Hit us
We're going
with
to do
your
comic
pull
books
list, Dad.
last. I have so many.
I
We
know you
haven't been
do.
here.
You so,
First, I want to share something with the
okay.
world. So I am a week behind on DC Comics. And
Okay,
here's
why?
why. So my little comic book shop is small. It doesn't have a massive amount of people. So
Well, you live in
the
a small town.
Exactly. So the distribution for these comic books goes through a company, and they offer a certain amount of discount for him to buy so much. He gives his pull listers a small amount of discount, but he has to pay shipping. And now they're making him get a certified check, which also costs. So it actually, he doesn't make any money buying DC Comics through a wholesaler. It's cheaper for him to have another store buy comics, him go get them and bring them a week later. So
That is
it's,
so dumb.
I know, but
Do
that's
you
the
know? I'm
way
like, ooh,
distribution of comics is.
that makes me mad.
So, but here's the deal. I want to
Uh
support
oh.
him, so I'll just be a week late. All right.
And Dad, do you know how much that really doesn't impact us at all? That you're a week late?
I
Like
know
who?
because it doesn't.
Like
It's all
I'm
right.
I'm
Most of these you
sorry
can
if
go back.
you're excited about it
I'm
and are
not.
like, oh,
I'm
I want
bummed.
it immediately. Like
I
if you
do.
like were if no, like if you were excited and now you're getting a wheat list, it's like a bummer. Like I'm sorry about that.
I did go
And
get one this week at a different store.
sorry,
Yeah.
Scott.
No, I'm going to get another one, and I'll probably give this one away to a friend.
Okay.
So that'll work. So here's the deal. I'm going to just mention a couple that everyone should be reading, and that is Strange Academy. We've
You
talked about it
mentioned you
before.
talked about that. We talked about
Yes.
that like a month ago.
So everybody should be reading it. It is Doctor Strange has a school
Yep.
where he teaches. Well, this issue 9 is Parents Weekend at the school. And these parents are ultra competitive and they have to do these little parent student things. So,
I'm having
and
flashbacks to when you all came to my parent weekend when I was a freshman in college.
nice. Well,
Do
we
you
would have
remember
whipped them.
that?
We would have won it.
We would have been like, get out of the way.
So the two Asgardian kids, their parent
Oh
couldn't come.
no.
So their uncle came. Want to guess who that might be?
Thor. Loki.
Loki. So and Loki, of course,
No.
is cheating, trying to win all these things, and this other
Uh,
lady is like ultra competitive against Loki. It's really funny. So it is all ages. I mean, it's probably T for T plus, but I think
does it have
you
a
know
rating? Like, do they
T
rate them?
plus. Yeah, T plus. I don't know what that means, but
Like,
it's a
so
great book.
what makes me think of is like TV 14 or something like that.
I don't. Yeah, I guess so. I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not drawing things that little kids, like middle school kids, couldn't see. I mean, I would have gotten this if I were in middle school.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
also Thor. We've talked about Thor. Everybody should be reading Thor.
Any
It's
news about that? I want to know
well,
if I want to know what's happening with Dr. Blake.
um, it's gonna come to a head the next issue. The next
Oh
issue's the
no.
end. So,
Oh
they've
no.
all shown up to fight him, Odin and everything.
Odin's
So,
there?
yep, Odin's there.
Shoot.
So, Donald Blake is,
Yikes.
yeah, and so is Frog Thor, and all of them from,
Excuse me, what?
and all of them, yeah, the Thor that's a frog, Throg. Thor was turned into a frog once in the 80s, and now the Thor frog is there fighting alongside Loki, Sif, Heimdall, all of them, Odin, Beta Ray Bill's back. They
Good,
got
because
they're all come
he had
back
gotten
from,
him.
yeah, they were all down in where, I don't know where they were, Hela or whatever.
Yeah, I was
They've
gonna say
all
were they
come
with
out,
Hella?
but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, everybody should be reading that. There is a
I'm sorry.
there's
I'm gonna need one more second for Frog Thor.
You didn't know this?
I didn't. I mean, I'm good now. I'm good now. But that I didn't know it. That's
Oh, it's
hysterical.
fantastic. Yeah, and he's
Hysterical.
running around with a dog from
Does
the
he ribbit?
Inhumans.
Like, does he
No,
like
he
bounce?
talks. Yeah, he jumps, and he has a little hammer too.
He's a
Yeah, and he
okay.
goes with this
Okay. I'm
dog
gonna.
from the Inhumans called Lockjaw, who
I know
can.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, we talked about that. He can transport from all over the universe. So they're together, Throg and Lockjaw. That's him. It was drawn
Okay.
by Walter Simonson,
I'm.
created by Walter and Louise Simonson, I believe, back in the 80s. And guess what, Hannah?
What, Dad? This
I
one's
had that
cool.
too. I had that one too.
You had that one? That's so cool.
Yeah, I sold those too. See, what am I doing, dummy?
What?
Um, Okay, there is a really cool Batman miniseries out called Batman Catwoman, and it is takes place after Bruce Wayne has died. He had been married to Catwoman. They have a child, who's now all grown up. Catwoman has the Wayne fortune, and
My gut reaction
she
was that that's a bad thing.
Catwoman basically goes to visit an old quote unquote friend at a retirement home.
Oh no.
Who do you think that might be?
Penguin or the Joker?
The Joker. And she kills
That
the
was a
Joker.
poor choice. Oh, she just murders him. Straight
Straight
murders
up
him.
kills him. Yep. And her daughter is now
Uh oh.
trying to find the murderer. And Catwoman's like, I don't care. Drinking her little wine, sitting at the big long table in Wayne Manor or whatever. And
She's like, dare you to come at me, little girl.
and okay, so many people will say the best Batman movie ever made was called Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It's an animated film. It's very good. I just
I don't
watched
know
it
of
for the
that.
first time. Well, it also deals with that character, the mask, the Phantasm. So
Okay.
this book is into 3 issues. Issue 4 is coming out, and I would suggest people read it. It's really good.
Okay.
So straight up Catwoman going to visit the Joker at a retirement home, like a Okeechobee, like going to see Pawpaw at Okeechobee in his trailer. Yeah, that's what the
She
Joker's
just
up to.
rolls up in her bougie car to Okeechobee. She's
Yeah,
like,
isn't that
hello, I'm here to
crazy?
visit an old friend.
Yeah, pretty much. Isn't that funny?
Wild woman. A wild woman.
So, they got a new Spider-Man book out now called Nonstop Spider-Man. Like we need more
Okay.
Spider-Man books.
Dad.
What?
Yes.
I don't know. The good thing
Yes.
about this is that literally it is nonstop. It does not stop the entire time. The cool thing about it is his spider sense. The way they draw his spider sense, it like comes up around him in big letters, like "look out," and it's over top of him.
Kind of
And
like in Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah, sort of like that. Yeah.
Because it would do
And
like the little things and it would say like watch or something.
yeah. I don't know if I'm going to keep getting it. It just seems like there's so much Spider-Man. In the Amazing Spider-Man book right now, he's got a new outfit, um, which is basically an outfit that allows this uh, social media firm to follow him. You can see everything that he does all the time, and like people can tweet and respond, and he
That
sees
sounds
things go
like The
across it.
Circle.
I don't know what that is. Oh, I never saw it.
I watched it. It was weird.
Well, I mean, they're uh like someone will tweet in, "Hey, use this as your funny quip when you fight the guy." Yeah, so they like do
That's
a poll
dumb.
and I know, but it's what they're doing right now, and I don't know how long I'm going to hang on to Spider-Man. So, I want to talk about uh another two more books I just want to briefly touch on.
Okay.
Berserker with no vowels.
Who's that? Who's
Berserker.
that by?
Boom Studios.
Do you know what, Dad?
I know.
Boom Studios and Image Comics, they just bop.
Somebody asked me yesterday at a little thing here next door. They were talking about the DC movies versus the Marvel movies, and they said, "So if you had to choose DC Comics versus Marvel Comics, it'd be Marvel, right?" And I was like, "Really? Right now? If I had to choose
It'd be
comics?"
Boom Studios or Image.
That's exactly what I said.
Like their
I said it would
comics are
be
just cooler right now. Like,
right.
sorry,
So,
oops. Don't know.
but anyway,
Don't come at
Berser-
me.
Berserker is amazing in the fact that it sold 610 million copies its first issue because it's written by Keanu Reeves.
It looks like Keanu Reeves.
The character is basically they're drawing it for Keanu
They're
Reeves.
drawing Keanu Reeves, and
And he's
just so
the
cool.
guy's name's Matt Kent
Oh,
and Keanu Reeves with art by Ron Garney. And his character is immortal, but just because you're immortal doesn't mean, like if somebody punches him, cuts his eye out, his eye's out.
okay. So it's not like it's kind of like Old Guard.
I thought about that too. But no, Old Guard eventually healed themselves. I think he has to have
Well,
help
I don't.
healing.
I
I'm not
don't
for
think that
sure.
they would. I think that if like they cut one of their like arms off, that
Would
they
it grow
just
back?
wouldn't. I don't think that it would grow back. I think that they just
I'm
wouldn't
not
have
for
an
sure
arm.
yet. So this is just first issue. It is adulty because it is chop them up, punch them up,
Literally,
gruesome, blah blah
this
blah,
is Keanu Reeves as a comic book character.
which is pretty much Berserker. And I believe that
No,
they're
this is
basically
Berserker. I googled it.
okay. You're
It's
showing me
literally.
a picture, and this is a podcast. So
I'm speaking about it too, Dad. It's literally
okay,
Keanu Reeves.
yes, because they want it to be a show. I think it's going to be end up being like a show on Netflix or something like that. So,
Well, a lot of their
and the
stuff
deal
right
is,
now is being optioned
I know, he
because
is
it's good.
basically, yeah. And in this book, he's fighting along with these people to help them in order for them to give him mortality. He wants to find out to become mortal because he wants to be able to die.
Mm.
He's tired.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it
Yikes.
looks to me like he's like been around since the first man, whatever. So we're about to find that out. Another
Yikes.
book that I got that I thought was really interesting is called The Bequest.
Okay, that
Like
makes me think of like
it
magic.
is it is literally Dungeons and Dragons characters brought from their world into our world to help this dragon who is here in the disguise of a man reclaim magic artifacts
Okay, what kind
because
of
what's
dragon is
happened.
he? What kind of dragon is it? Is it a bronze dragon, gold dragon, or is it a chromatic
Okay, then
dragon?
should I even know what that means? What's the purpose of that?
Okay, well,
Like, I
in
don't
Dungeons
know.
and Dragons, there are metallic dragons and there are chromatic dragons, and chromatic dragons are
He is
not
Ruby.
good.
He's
Oh,
Ruby.
oh no,
Is he bad?
this is good. Red dragons.
Elder Serpent Crimson Dragon.
Oh no.
Is that bad?
I'm gonna go keep talking. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna go get my D&D manual.
Oh no, don't go. Okay, so in the bequest, what happens is there is a character who was a good guy, and he felt like he was betrayed by the person he worshipped. So he decided that he would no longer be a good guy, and he wanted to get into so this good guy who's no longer a good guy wants to get into another world to bring weapons of destruction back into the Dungeons and Dragons type world so that he could destroy all the people. So they create a
That's not
portal.
good.
No, they create a portal. He brings like guns and stuff from our country, our world, into the Dungeons and Dragons world. So now this dragon has brought these characters from the Dungeons and Dragons world back into our world to fight and reclaim these magic things. The interesting thing about this is that in the back of the comic book is player sheets. Like it shows their armor class, hit points, their strength, their abilities, intelligence, wisdoms, dexterity, poison to death ray, magic wand, paralysis. It's an entire character sheet for the people in the book. It looks like it's going to be so much fun, but again, this is for adultages.
So,
Okay.
dragons
Yeah.
in
He's a
Dungeons and
ruby
Dragons.
crimson something serpent.
So, red dragons,
Mm-hmm.
they're the worst of the chromatic dragons. They are the most covetous of the true dragons. Red dragons tirelessly seek to increase their treasure.
Like Smaug.
They are
That would be
exceptionally
Smaug.
vain. They're exceptionally vain, even for dragons. I'm straight
Nice.
reading this out of my
D&D book.
monster
Your
manual.
Monster manual from D&D
Yeah.
with the the beholder
The
on the front.
beholder.
Yep.
It's not a beholder. It's just a beholder.
Gotcha. Which is interesting because I got Stranger Things has a 4-issue miniseries out right now called Stranger Things Dungeons and Dragons, and it has that on the cover.
The
One of them.
beholder?
Yeah, we'll talk about
That's
that
so
later on a
fun.
different podcast. So yeah, so
and
he is
their conceit is reflected in their proud bearing and their disdain for other creatures. So ancient dragons often have a shape, like they can go into a human shape.
well, he is a human. And the longer you are on in our plane of existence, you
Ooh.
start to lose your magic. You start to lose your power. So he's brought these people over and he's like, let's do it fast. So yeah, that's a cool one. And that's not even one I wanted to talk about. I've got so many more. So I'm going to fly through these.
Okay,
Another
well,
cool one
Dad,
that's
we are going to do this next week.
okay. Well, I'll talk about 2, but then
Okay.
I'll get more next week. There's
Well,
one out for the kids that I love. It's by Oni
okay.
Press. It's called Jonna and the Impossible Monsters. It's a book that I think kids would love. The art is fantastic. She basically goes off to fight these impossible monsters and
Unpossible?
unpossible. Jonna and the Impossible Monsters.
That's so
And
cute.
she is missing, and her sister wants to find her. There's a lot of it opens up the very beginning is a lot of art, very little storytelling. The storytelling is done by the pictures, and at
Hmm.
the end of the book, it's more
A lot of
dialogue,
words.
and you get that. Yeah.
That's so
Also,
fun.
there is another one out that I'm sure will be a fantastic TV show called Noctera. What happens is, all of a sudden, the entire planet goes black
Uh-oh.
for no reason. Um,
Noctera because Terra is Earth,
yes, right.
and Noct
And
because
what happens
nocturnal.
though is if you stay in the dark for up to 8 hours, you start to be transformed into these creatures. So everyone has to stay lit all the time. And so it's interesting. This girl ferries people from lit places to other lit places, and you come to find out that her little brother has the disease, and
Oh.
she's trying to keep him from turning. So she's going to take this rich person to another place where they have like UV lamps so
Mm.
that it can burn out the disease or whatever. So that's going to be cool. So the
That's
one I really
that
wanted to
makes me
talk about,
sad though. Okay.
the one I really want to talk about
Okay.
is Nightwing. So Nightwing is the original Dick Grayson, the original Robin. The
Yes.
original Robin became
Which is the
Nightwing.
one that died?
No, Nightwing didn't
Okay.
die.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that'd be Red Hood. That's Jason Todd.
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
didn't like him.
he was the.
We read that and they hated him.
Yeah, that was the second one. But now
They were
everybody
like
loves Red Hood.
they were like, get
But
rid of him.
Nightwing is now being written by Tom Taylor, the guy who wrote Deceased, that I
Oh, and
love.
you loved that.
Yes. So this is the first issue. Now that DC is over Future State, we had talked about it.
Yes,
So
because they were
now,
keeping some, getting rid of others.
right. So now DC is doing this thing called Infinite Frontier, where basically anything goes. Their
Okay.
worlds, you don't have to worry about multiverses. Everything's fine. Everybody lives within this multiverse or
Ah,
that multiverse, and you come in and out. So the stories, yeah, everything matters or nothing matters. It's whatever, willy nilly.
it's both.
But, but this is their Infinite Frontier. They're kicking it off. So they started with a new creative team for um, Nightwing, and it's really good. So they put him back in his city, which is called Bloodhaven.
Oh,
Barbara Gordon, who's also known as Oracle, we call her Babs, they've always had a little thing, shows up and says, okay, here's the deal. For a while, they basically erased Nightwing's memory and he was a cab driver. It was dumb, stupid, terrible thing to do for him.
why?
Exactly. It totally ruined the character. But now he's back. And
He back.
so Alfred's been dead for a year. So,
That's so
and
sad. Why?
oh, it happened. I can't believe you didn't know this. We're not going to get into it. I'll never finish. Just take that as Alfred's dead. We'll talk about it later.
Tear down my
But
face.
he's been dead for a year.
Miss you,
Nightwing wasn't
Alfred.
there for the reading of the will.
He got
So,
something. What'd he get?
well, you come to find out that. So, what does a butler spend money on?
Nothing.
Exactly. Who does the butler work for?
The richest man in the world.
What do you give people that work for you?
Money.
Stock options. Alfred was a billionaire.
Oh, no.
Billionaire. Leaves it
Hashtag not
all
surprised.
leaves it all to Dick Grayson. So now Dick
Dang.
Grayson is loaded. And there's some really interesting flashbacks with him and Alfred. And because, Nightwing washing
Hmm.
dishes, and Alfred's like, Master Dick, let me do this. And he goes, oh, I can do dishes, because he's
Mm.
from a family where they did dishes and stuff. And so it was really interesting. And
Oh.
Alfred calls him son in it. I'm proud to
Ah.
have known you as my son. And
Mm.
so, yeah, very
Bart.
touching. The writing is fantastic. If you pick up any of the new DC books, which is hilarious because this is the only new one I got because I won't get them till next week. Nightwing, 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
All right.
Nightwing is cool right now.
Nightwing is cool.
For the
Jonna and the
kids.
Impossible for the kiddos. Noctera. There's also a book called Ultra Mega by Image, which is like a ultra violent Ultraman slash kaiju slash thing
Kaiju
book where
are
they fight.
so cool.
Oh, this is really, really out. I mean, and it was thick. It was like $8, but by golly, it was worth it.
Worth it.
It was
I
like
love that.
bonkers all the way through, and I'll have to share more on it later.
Okay.
So, yeah, listen, we had a lot, and we
Yeah.
didn't even get through what we want to. So, we are in the middle of March Madness, and next week we're going to talk about a comic book graphic novel
Yes,
on
I have
basketball
it right here.
called Dragon Hoops by Jean Young Lang.
I haven't started reading it yet, but Dad said that it's his favorite graphic novel.
Yes, absolutely. You don't have to know anything about basketball, and you don't have to love comic books. It is great. It is great in and of itself. So, and it's true. That's what makes it even better.
It's a true story.
Absolutely,
So yeah,
100%
I'm really
true
excited
story.
to read it. It is she a thick girl.
Yes, but it's
boy.
It's mostly
Lots
pictures.
of pages long.
Yeah, and if you don't know basketball, you'll learn it in this. So absolutely. So we're going to talk about it next podcast. Guys, a friend of ours is going to start putting our podcast up on her website / whatever.
We've been she's been watching us all day. We've been talking
I know. It is readersentertainment.com. My friend Sheila, and she like created and trademarks book trailers.
She was the creator of that word. And that's so cool. How can you creating words?
I wish I created a word. Toot nanny.
No, you can't.
I didn't create Toot Nanny.
No, Dad.
I can't. I'm going to try. Anytime somebody says Toot Nanny, they owe me a nickel. If I had a nickel for every time somebody said Toot Nanny.
I don't think that's how trademarking words
Peeps, we also now have a YouTube channel.
Woo!
So these will be up on YouTube. However, when I tried to search Sis and Big Pops, only thing I could come up was zit popping videos. So I don't know how you're going to find us without following a link.
Zit popping videos.
I know. And then I got stuck. And then I went down that rabbit hole watching everybody.
don't get stuck in that YouTube hole,
Dad.
Dad.
You know, I'm on Dr. Pimple Popper. I tried to find our thing and I ended. Anyway,
I would say
rate and review. But only rate and review our podcast if you're going to give us 5 stars. If you're going to give us 4, don't rate and review. You don't have to.
Rate and review with a 5-star rating, please.
Yes, with a 5-star rating.
LOL.
So that goes for you, all of our 6 subscribers. We should start naming all of our 6 subscribers.
We don't know what their names are, Dad. Our analytics don't tell us that.
Yes, they do. They say who follows it on podcasts.
But that doesn't mean that those are the 6 people that are listening. Those just means those are the 6 people that are following.
Well, that's true too.
Okay.
Well, Toot Nanny.
Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Again, it's been a minute, so it was super fun to chit chat with you and to talk with you again, Dad. I mean, I was still talking to you because you're my dad and I love you. And it's nice to do this again, too.
Absolutely.
Our music is created by Brockwell Nason. You should look him up, Brockwell Nason Music on Spotify. He has a new cover of Driver's License, which bops. Our cover art was created by... Our cover art was created by Nathan Turner in Microsoft Paint. He did that all by himself.
Who does that?
He's
I'm going to have pins
wizard.
made of our logo.
Dope.
And then we'll give them out. We'll be like a handy.
I want one for my jean jacket.
There you go. And we give it to our subscribers, our 2 listeners, and the HBO Max representative that listens.
I'm sorry, Dad. Miss Sheila just said, Toot Nanny, we'll Venmo you later.
All right. A nickel.
Hysterical.
Put it in the coffer.
Hysterical. Okay. We, Dad and I each do our own research. And I edit the podcast, aka I upload it. Yeah, we love Google, man. And then
I put it on the YouTuber thingy.
Indeed. And Dad uploads us to YouTube. We are thankful for you. Thanks for hanging out with us, friends. It's been good.
Absolutely. Have a great week. And even if your basketball team's not in the tournament, read Dragon Hoops. It's really good.
Yes. We'll talk about that next week. Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye-bye, guys.
Our lovely people on Facebook Live, thanks for hanging with us. We're going to hop off.
Absolutely. Enjoy the day.
Bye.
Drink my Jimmy Johns.
Yes. Bye, friends.